creative vision over sales is paramount to creating a cohesive and enjoyable gaming experience. At least that's what the Rebel Wolves directors say. So maybe that's why this game is the second most wishlisted game on Steam and why it's kind of a dentist simulator. Let's talk about it. What's up, guys? Vernon is black and Vernon is back today, and I wanted to talk to you about just a couple of things real quick about the Blood of Dawnwalker. First of all, it recently has just become the second most wishlisted game on Steam. I'll show you that right here. I thought we were in dark mode. Oh well. The second most wishlisted game on Steam, right behind Phantom Blade Zero. They're pretty close to 1.6 million for Phantom Blade and 1.4 million for the Blood of Dawnwalker. Now, to be fair, I do believe that this list is only including games that have not released, because this isn't out, Onimusha, I believe, yeah, September, Control Resonant, yeah, so I don't believe any of these games are out, so I should clarify by saying that it is the second most wishlisted game of 2026 that has not released yet, but that is still a good sign. You know, the three games that are most wishlisted are three games that I'm very excited for myself. I've talked about them multiple times, if not at least once, most of these games. So people are interested, and it looks like it's gonna go well for the game, because I still believe that this game is going to be incredible. Now, what is the reason I bring up creative vision over sales numbers? Well, first of all, I want to clarify, every business needs to make money. That's just what business is. The thing about gaming, though, is people like to say that creative vision alone and standing out and having solid to good or great gameplay mechanics alone will make up for the sales on the back end. And I truly believe most of the time that is true, but there are a lot of examples of games that were really good or really well received, and they just didn't sell well, and people got laid off, studios got shut down, the series never continued. I think Sleeping Dogs is one of the more notorious examples of a game that people really like that will probably never get a continuation of in the sequel. Yes, Rebel Wolves values creativity more than money. It's just another preview right there. We don't need that. Yeah, so the director, Tomaskovics, I believe this was probably Conrad, was asked how much the game needs to sell to be successful, and he said that he doesn't want to focus on that. You don't want to measure in millions of sales, right? Now, the part of this conversation that I feel like I would also have to mention is that when you are a studio with the pedigree that Rebel Wolves has, then you can afford to have this mindset a little more, because you already have proof of concept. You already have a not only well-known and well-received, but possibly your biggest example of what you're capable of is one of the greatest games ever created in Witcher 3. So the amount of, it's kind of similar to the Mind's Eye situation, how I forgot the man's name, but the man who came from directing GTA, who was making that game, people put a lot of trust into him, a lot of faith into him, just because his proof of concept, and we all saw how that went. Hopefully this isn't another Mind's Eye, because I would be heartbroken and I would have to get on here and apologize for being so wrong. But yeah, when you have the pedigree of a Rebel Wolves in gaming, and you have multiple directors who have worked on one of the greatest gaming experiences that people have ever played, then you can have this mindset a little more. Someone who's a more indie developer with no backing and no track record to look at, they kind of have to worry about sales a little bit more. But then you also get to the point where you're like a billion-dollar company, and you do and you don't have to worry about sales in a way. Like, you do because shareholders and investors, you got to please them. But on the other hand, it's like you don't, because your name alone will sell copies. You have IPs that will sell copies on their name alone. So it's a nuanced discussion that I think we have to have another day. But as far as for Rebel Wolves, though, it's a promising thing to hear. It's what you like to hear as a consumer. So could it just be, more fluff you know, something trying to get PR points or something. I don't know, but I feel like it's not. It feels genuine to me, but how do I know? I don't know these people. But I will err on the side of positivity and say that this is how they genuinely feel. And I mean, with the announcement of free DLCs, that kind of backs up what they're saying, right? So chasing creative vision is more important to them than sales. Hopefully they stay true to that throughout not only this game's lifespan, but the rest of the series, because it is supposed to be a trilogy. And finally, so why is this game a dental simulator? Dentist simulator. Why do I say that? Well, so everybody's familiar with vampires, I would assume, especially if you're watching this video. I would assume you're familiar with vampires. So how do vampires transform people into other vampires, usually in media? To my knowledge, usually it's the classic bite on the neck, right? The two big fangs coming out, bite on the neck, and you will now turn into a vampire, or they'll just suck your blood out and they'll kill you. The Rebel Wolves studio has decided to take a different approach on that idea. They wanted the Wticher to be a bit more unique. So from what we're hearing, the way to turn a person into an actual Wticher is to not only bite, well, you might not even have to bite technically. You have to lodge one of the vampire teeth into the person, and then as it stays in that person, it'll spread, it'll grow, and it'll turn that person into a vampire, which is a little bit more involved, but it leaves more room for different ways for different people to become Wticher. You know, maybe it's not the classic bite on the neck, now you're a vampire, boom boom bam. Maybe it's something like they hide the tooth in maybe some sort of food somehow, and then you swallow it and now it's just embedded in you. You know, it opens up the door to so many different ways to do. You could tie someone down and cut open a hole in them and then just stick the tooth in there. Like, you know, who knows the routes that you could go with this. So then that got me wondering after I read this, because oh yeah, it's on the article right here. So to transform a human into a Wticher, the person not only needs to be bitten, but the teeth of Bloodsucker are still at the center of attention. So they're saying you have to be bitten. I'm saying, who knows, maybe they'll expand on that idea. If the whole idea is that the tooth must be implanted, oh, they're saying right into the heart right here. Okay, I don't remember reading that part. I mean, again, who knows how this is gonna work? It could be a situation where the tooth can be implanted in your stomach, for instance, and then it can travel to your heart. We don't know how crazy this is gonna get. So operating off of pure speculation here, let's assume nothing we know is actually true, but it could be true. So these teeth play a valuable role, obviously, if the Wticher want to continue the existence of their kind, because I assume that they can't regularly procreate, or if they can, then they would be weaker vampires. I don't know. I have no idea. But teeth are obviously a very important role in this story. Obviously, it's vampires. So then it got me thinking, well, if these teeth are so important, then what's like the growth rate of the teeth? How fast do they grow back? How fast do they get replaced? Do they not get replaced until you start getting rid of them? Do they continuously grow? Like, I've been wondering about how often these people, well, if you want to call them people, get their teeth back. And then I remembered something. The design of Xantha, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Okay, so if you look at this picture of Xantha, I guess we'll go with, she appears to have teeth growing out of her head right here, poking through like the pieces of cloth. And oh, I think you can see one, maybe, no, that might be clothing, but definitely on her head, these look like teeth coming out of her head. So clearly the teeth don't just grow out of your mouth like a typical tooth. So it got me wondering, like, maybe this is a situation where the teeth just continuously grow, and it helps promote the spread of the Wticher. And it would also fall in line with them not being able to procreate if this is how they spread their race. And it also ties into the blood tithes thing, the concept of that. You know how the people pay a certain blood tithe to Brensis to be protected from sickness and all that. And, you know, if you're too weak, then you'll pass away from the blood tithe. But if you're strong enough, then you get the blood, you don't die, you move on, you live a great life. This could also be a situation where maybe every now and then when someone's going to be too weak, they do implant that tooth in there, and then they turn them into a Wticher, or maybe they, you know, give them a certain deal like, hey, you know, you're either going to die or you can become one of us, so you can live forever. And, you know, the fear of death from most of humanity, you'll make a knee-jerk reaction and you'll pick becoming an undying vampire for the rest of your days. So that I didn't expect the teeth to be such a pivotal role in this way. But then the last thing that it also reminded me of was that mission with the tooth fairy. I'll pull up a picture of it. So if you're unaware, a while ago, IGN had about a 7 or 8 minute preview of a quest from the Blood of Dawnwalker involving the Sanzani, I believe it's pronounced. Basically, they're these little tooth fairies. I'm not gonna spoil what the teeth do in case you don't want to know. I'm not going to play the video. I'll just show a picture of the creature that I'm talking about. This is probably the easiest picture I could find. Apparently these things have something to do with teeth in a way, and it's getting me wondering, well, what happens if you give that fairy a vampire tooth? What transpires then? Do you gain like an extra special reward? Like, dude, I wonder if the rewards are going to operate on the classic tier system of like white through yellow. Do you gain like yellow rewards for bringing back, like, what if I kill Brensis, for instance, and I get some of his teeth and I bring them to the Sanzani? What would I get then? I have no idea what it would be. I don't know what rewards you get for giving this thing teeth or whatever, but it's all very interesting how it's tying together slowly. And that's just from me doing like bare minimum research. I'm not a news channel by any stretch of the imagination. Most of these articles are like multiple days old. I'm just a fan talking about a game that I think is going to be really good. But it's interesting. I don't know where they're going to go with this, but I am very interested and very excited to see what exactly this is going to turn into. I'm assuming that it's side content, but hey, you never know with these games. I just know that on September 3rd, I'm very excited, and I can't wait to get my hands on this game, literally, because I'm buying it physically. So if you want to hear me talk about more of the Blood of Dawnwalker, then you can watch this video right here, my most recent upload, or today is August 4th. The Beast of Reincarnation is officially out. If you want to hear me talk about that game pre-release, then you can watch this video right here. Doesn't matter which one you click. Either way, I will see you in the next one. Peace. I'll trust this.